Hey everybody, welcome to Dan Bullman Photography. In this week's episode, I talk about my two loves, film photography and digital photography. So in last week's episode, I gave you 4 reasons why I prefer shooting film over digital. The first is that it's more challenging. The second is that it slows you down. The third is the aesthetic. And fourth, it's just more fun for me. But there are a lot of compelling reasons to shoot digital, and I always feel a little bit pulled in two directions, towards two polar opposite poles, film photography and digital photography. So this week I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why I want to shoot digital and why I see that it still has an important place in my life. The first and most obvious reason why I still want to shoot digital and I still shoot digital is that it's just more convenient. Convenience always wins, folks. It wins very frequently. So let's say you like pizza and your favorite pizza is at this artisanal shop where they handcraft really beautiful, delicious pizzas, but you've got to take 2 buses to get there, and they don't deliver to your house. But then there's another pizza shop that makes pretty good pizza, and it's right down the street from you, and you can either walk there or get it delivered. Which place are you going to order from, or going to be more compelled to order from? Convenience is a huge reason why I still shoot digital and still want to continue to shoot digital, is because it's just easier to shoot and transfer it to the computer and edit it and get it online. It's just easier to manage than dealing with all of the chemicals and developing or sending things off to the lab, and it's just quicker and more convenient than film. Another reason why digital is really compelling to me is cost. It is just cheaper over the long term than shooting film. Now, your initial investment in gear is going to cost you more money in most cases. The latest digital cameras can range up into the thousands of dollars. I didn't pay that much for mine, and I probably wouldn't see myself paying that much for a camera, but my digital gear is more expensive than the film gear I'm using. But in terms of the photos themselves, what the images are being recorded to, over the long run, film costs more than using memory cards where you can shoot basically infinite number of photos and reformat the card and continue the process. Especially when you're shooting a lot, shooting film does become costly, and I do have to think about, can I afford to process all of the rolls of film I've just shot this week? And I have to sort of plan it out a little bit more and stagger it out. So it holds me back from shooting maybe as much as I want, unless I implement some digital photography into my life, which is what I end up doing. Another reason that digital can be better than film is that you get more control over the final result. Especially if you're shooting in RAW for your file format, you get a lot more control over how you can manipulate the image and create the final image. Now, you can scan a film negative and do some of the same things that you would do with a digital file, but ultimately you get a little bit more creative control with digital photography, in my opinion. But again, I went over last week why I prefer these aesthetics of film over digital photos anyway, but sometimes it's nice to be able to really craft an image and stylize it and make it look the way you want, whereas with film you're a little bit more limited over what you can do with it. And another reason is that there are some things you can do with digital cameras that just weren't possible with film. And one of those things is time-lapse photography. Now, I'm really into time-lapse photography. I love shooting time-lapses, and this is just something that is not possible or practical to shoot with film. So I have to go to digital if I want to make time-lapses. And that's okay. One of the great things about this era that we live in right now is that this isn't an either-or thing. You can shoot film and digital. There's enough love to go around for both of them, man. So how I've dealt with this dilemma is I've just decided I'm going to shoot both. And that's totally cool. You can do that. And so I shoot digital, I shoot film, I do both, and I think they're both great. There's no reason why anybody out there should limit themselves to one type of format, whether it's digital or film. Now, if you prefer to do that, that's fine, that's cool. You know, do whatever floats your boat, but I think that we can, you know, as photographers, we should be embracing all the things that we love, and we could be shooting digital and we could be shooting film. So the way I've resolved it is I basically shoot film for all of my project-based stuff, all my personal projects, my portrait work, but I incorporate digital in there too when I'm doing time lapses or I'm doing just day-to-day stuff, just out on the street. I'll shoot with my digital camera, and especially if money's tight and I don't have a lot of money to process my film or buy more film. So that's sort of how I've figured out a workflow. So yeah, that's pretty much it on my two-part series of film versus digital. They don't have to be versus, it can be both. And so I encourage you to comment on this video and let me know what you think. Also, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, go and follow me on Instagram at Dan Bullman. Put my handle right there. And I hope I'll see you around in the coming days. So in the next few weeks, I'll have some videos coming out on the Pentacon 6, on the Polaroid SX70, and on Polaroid lamp cameras with Fuji FP100C. I don't know exactly what order those are going to come out in yet, but if you subscribe to my channel, you will see those soon. Alright folks, we'll see you next time. This has been Dan Bullman Photography. Peace.